So at approximately 10:10 p.m. yesterday, officers were sent to a burglary in progress at a Coelho Way residence. When Officer 1 arrived, the 911 caller identified a male sitting in a vehicle as a person who had been in her home. The suspect then got out of the car and began to walk towards Officer 2, who arrived on scene. Officer 1 ordered the suspect to stop and get on the ground. The suspect then turned and charged at Officer 1, punching him several times. Officer 2 tried to get the suspect off of Officer 1. Officer 3 then arrived on scene, deployed his taser, but it was ineffective. The suspect then charged at Officer 3 and punched him before running and charging at Officer 1 again. Officer 1 then fired a single round, but the suspect continued and tackled Officer 1, straddling him, and began punching Officer 1 again. Officer 2 then fired 3 rounds at the suspect, and the suspect then fell to the ground. This all happened in less than 1 minute from Officer 1's arrival. Officers administered first aid at the scene, and the suspect was treated and transported to the hospital in critical condition. He died of his injuries at the hospital. The 3 responding officers were taken to the hospital for multiple injuries. The first officer to arrive has multiple facial fractures, a concussion, and injuries to his arms and legs. He remains hospitalized. He has 23 years of service. The second officer suffered multiple injuries to the body, arms, and legs. The third officer had a concussion in addition to multiple abrasions to the body, arm, and legs. They required medical treatment and have since been released. They have 18 and 10 years of service. At this time, the suspect's identification is pending with the medical examiner's office. We believe that he's about 29 years old, and he does not appear to have a criminal record. And the 3 officers were wearing body cameras, and the footage is going to be reviewed to see what can be released.